you will be directed to this page. On the right side of your screen, all of these tabs are the sections you will be filling out. First section I'll go over is the About You section. I won't go through every tab because it is pretty straightforward. I want to mention that if you see an asterisk on the side of a question, that is going to be required. You have to fill it out to go on to the next part. If it doesn't have an asterisk, you do not need to fill it out. So you'll notice that there is a description you can read to figure out what you are answering to. So for example, this one, they'd like to know your legal name, the name that appears on official documents. So for this one, I'll put Transfer Center. You'll put your legal name that is on your birth certificate or anything else. And then if you do have a preferred first name, you can put that there. I also do want to mention what these I's are. If you are confused about a question, you can go over with your mouse to the I and it will give you a description of what this question means. So I kind of filled it out already. So your preferred or your legal name and your preferred first name, you do not have to do this if you don't have one. Have you ever had a different legal name? No. And if you have, you could put yes and it'll just ask for the different name. And then it's going to ask when were you born, so your birth date, and then where were you born. Once you fill it out, you can click Save and Continue. So the next section I'll go over is the citizenship and residency. So if you are an undocumented student and DACA or AB 540, scroll over the I. It will give you a tip that you should select No Selection. If you are not an undocumented and DACA or AB 540 student, then click on your country of citizenship. So when you scroll down to the next question, it's going to ask, do you have a social security number or a taxpayer identification number? If you do, you can press on yes, and you will provide it in this section. And if you don't, you could press on no. And then the next question will be, by the time you attend UC, will you have graduated from a California high school? You can say yes or no. And then the next question will be, by the time you attend UC, will you have attended a California school for 3 or more years during grades K through 12? And then press Save and Continue. The next section will be the demographics. I want to emphasize that this section does not affect your chances of admission. So if you scroll down to see all the questions, you're going to see that none of these have an asterisk. So these are not required. If you do not feel comfortable, you can just save and continue. You do not have to answer these questions. If you are comfortable with it, you can answer them, and then you can press Save and Continue. The next section I'll talk about is your household. So if you scroll down, it's going to ask, do you live by yourself? You can click yes or no. And if you don't, they're going to ask you who you live with. You can say parents or other. And then what was your total income earned in 2021? So if you are dependent, you will have to include your parents' income. And if you are independent, it's your income. So I'll say 20,000. And then how many people were supported by this income? If you are dependent, include everyone in the household. And if you are independent, you can put yourself. And then you'll save and continue. After every end of each section, there will be a review tab. So this is just to show you that everything you put into these tabs is all in one. So if everything looks good, you can continue to campus and majors, and if there's something that is missing or is wrong, you could just edit, and then you'll continue to campus and majors.